back, everyone, to IGN Live at E3. Our next game has a really unique world to cause havoc in. Steampunk fans might want to pay attention because Dishonored is in the house.
Hey guys, we're super excited to show you Dishonored. I am joined by Рэфом Колантонио. He's the co-creative director alongside Harvey Smith, who couldn't join us today, but from Arkane Studios. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The game's being published by all of our friends at Bethesda. So we're here to talk about some first-person action, whatever we call it. What are we calling it? What is Dishonored? What kind of game is this?
So it's a first-person action game with stealth, and you play the role of a supernatural assassin.
Okay. So now we're going to get into a demo here. What are we seeing here? What's going on with this demo?
So at this point, the player is about to assassinate a target, and so this is like somewhat in the middle of the mission. And we're showing here one of the ways to kill this target without even getting close contact with him, to make it look like an accident. But there are many ways to kill this target. The player could have gone through the main door and just like attack in a more regular way, or that's the point of the game, is that you really get to play the way you want, and either you can play very surgically and only pick on the target, or you can play more like brutally and kill everyone on the way.
Now real quick, just for background, we're playing some kind of an assassin, and we have some form of special power. What?
Right. And so you have those powers such as teleport, or you can possess bodies of animals or even human beings. In this case, actually, we're going to demonstrate how you possess the target himself to make it look like a suicide. You can also freeze time. You have the double jumps. You have all those powers that you have to choose as you are playing the game. You cannot have all of them. So as you play the game, you find some runes which are part of an economy, and you spend those runes on powers to upgrade them or to acquire some new ones. So here you can tell it's gonna, that's it. It's possessing the target himself.
Are you okay?
And this is just one way that you could approach this.
This is just one way. This is not scripted. It's all based on simulation. So every players will have their own way to combine the powers and their strategies. Right, and so here the beginning of the demo, we show how you can be very surgical, and then at the later stage of the demo, we show how you can be very brutal and murder everyone on your way, which is a different approach. Is very fun as well. But if you kill innocent people, it commits you to a darker ending. So that's also something that is interesting to know.
Now the power that we just saw, where you looked like you were almost teleporting, kind of like Nightcrawler,
right?
That's called Blink, correct?
Right. Totally.
Now, when you use a power like Blink, are you using a resource of some kind? Like, is there mana, or is there?
So Blink is the only power that you have for free. It comes for free. It is introduced in the game by a character called the Outsider, and he gives you that power. And not only it's free to acquire, but it's also free to use. So it's really your fallback power, which is great because you get used to it as one of your mobility tools, and suddenly you combine it to assassinate people or to for your mobility, etc. So it makes it very special. Now other powers, though, they have a cost. So whenever you freeze time, for example, which is one of the very powerful, obviously, powers, it has a resource cost. So you cannot freeze time as much as you want. You have to choose the right moment to do that. Same with the wind blast that we just saw.
Now the security guard looked like he detected you, so, oh gosh. Now when they detect you, does that trip some sort of alarm and everybody comes and to attack you, or is that part of why you would want to play stealth, to avoid detection?
Yes, because if you are, not only if you want to avoid killing people, but also if you want to be very effective in murdering people, there is an obvious advantage to sneak on people, because you can assassinate them, therefore meaning like killing them in one attack only. Whereas if they detect you, which this guy just did, then it starts to yell, and it calls out the guards, and now you're triggering a different kind of fun, which is very fun too, by the way, because now it goes hectic, and so you have to use your powers and your resource in a clever way so that you can survive and improvise out of this situation.
Lots of throat stabbing.
Lots of throat stabbing. Yeah, it's a violent game. If you want it to be violent, again, you could really avoid death.
Oh.
Yeah, here we see some of the example of the melee combat as well, which is it's part of the action. You can block and attack.
So we're
and
blocking in
counter-attack.
real time there.
You are blocking in real time. If you block at the right time, then you can counter-attack, meaning the enemy goes a little off balance, and then you can kill him in one attack.
So you just pause time and you put some sort of a grenade, or
Yes, this is called Spring Razor. It's a very messy, it's a messy weapon with all those blades that have been wired all together with springs, and then it explodes on contact.
So the place where this is taking place right now, the Golden Cat, is like a club. Tell us just real quick a little bit about the city that the game's taking place in.
So the city is called Dunwall, and here we see one of the assassination of the target. There you go. This one is dead. It's a steampunk city. Initially it's inspired by London in 1666, but then it's been pushed forward in time, and we came up with a different industrial revolution. So at the end, it was our own world. We totally branched away from the London setup.
And who are these guys?
So these guys are the Tall Boys. They are here to protect the city from the people that are infected by the plague. And so they will shoot at anybody that comes close to the gate. So there's a gate over there which goes to the city, and they're just here to defend it. So here the player is actually using wind blast to bounce back those arrows, those fire arrows back at the Tall Boys themselves. For this time, you have to shoot at the canisters behind their back over there to kill them.
So now in the initial section, you were trying to assassinate somebody. What are you trying to do at this part of the game right now?
In
are
this
you just
part,
trying to get access to somewhere?
Right. So there are different stories, every mission per mission, and so in this case, it's just you're just trying to traverse the part that is called the flooded district of the game.
And the Tall Boys are in the way?
The Tall Boys are in the way.
Gotcha.
And your objective here is not to kill anybody. It's just to escape the place. If you want to kill people on their way, you can. If you just want to sneak around and avoid killing, you can also.
Gotcha. So now we're back at the Golden Cat. Is this yet again another type of a playthrough?
Yes, so this is going to show, because we actually show the demo several times to illustrate different play styles. In this case, we're going to show how we infiltrate this area. There are actually 8 to 10 ways to get in. The main door and the windows. But here in this moment, we're going to show how we can possess a fish. So we are magically fusing with a fish to infiltrate through a water path.
Magically fusing with a fish.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a game.
Exactly. It's the first fish possession game ever.
Fish fusion mechanics. So now what happens, so you're possessing the fish in the similar way that you did the guy that you assassinated earlier, correct?
Right.
So we're in a fish now. Now where is our body?
So we are the fish and the player are one, basically. So
wow, okay.
You use it as a vehicle as opposed to, because otherwise it wouldn't really help you for infiltration. Once you're on the other side, then if you come back in your body, it doesn't really help you, right? So this is faster, this is more efficient.
It's fish fusion done right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we're at the end of our time here. So so Dishonored is coming out when?
October 9th in North America on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, and then October 12th in Europe.
Perfect. Well, Raphael, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
Thank you.
That was Dishonored. Back to you, Naomi.
Thanks, Casey. That's actually a cool game. Now, just so you don't feel dishonored later, remember to subscribe to our 2 YouTube channels, IGN and Start. Oh, and my boss has totally made me say that line, so don't blame me for it, okay? But coming up, we have a game that might bring nostalgia to longtime PC fans. XCOM Enemy Unknown is next.